General Hospital Monday, September 22nd update. Secret Nathan investigation. Tracy's door slam, Lulu and Brit's truce. The Monday, September 22nd episode of General Hospital is set to explode with shocking twists, jaw-dropping confrontations, and unlikely alliances that no one could have predicted. As Port Charles weaves deeper into a tangled web of lies, loyalties, and hidden agendas, three standout storylines dominate the hour. A covert investigation into Nathan's mysterious return, Tracy Quartermain's fiery door slam moment that stuns her family, and a surprising truce between Lulu and Brit that changes the Cassadine-Falconeri dynamic forever. In today's sprawling update, let's dive into the events beat by beat, peeling back every layer of the drama, exploring the secret motivations of the players, and considering how these bombshell developments will ripple through Port Charles for weeks and months to come. The town has been buzzing ever since a man bearing an uncanny resemblance to Nathan West was wheeled into GH on a stretcher. For Maxie Jones, the shock of seeing the face of her late husband again was enough to stop her heart for a moment. But questions immediately arose. How could Nathan, long thought dead after being fatally shot by Caesar Faison, be alive? And if he is alive, why has he remained in the shadows all these years? Monday's episode kicks off with Detective Dante Falconeri and Harrison Chase quietly launching what they call the Secret Nathan investigation. They're aware that the public revelation of Nathan's survival could cause chaos, especially for Maxie and her son, James. The two detectives meet in an unused interrogation room at the PCPD. Chase lays down the case file. Evidence of survival. No body was ever released to the family. The stretcher incident. Multiple eyewitnesses saw a man who looked identical to Nathan brought into GH. Inconsistencies. The man hasn't spoken, hasn't been publicly identified, and mysteriously disappeared from his hospital room hours later. Dante raises the question no one wants to ask. What if this isn't Nathan at all, but a plant sent by Victor Cassadine, or even someone surgically altered to sow chaos? Meanwhile, Maxie is reeling. Monday's episode shows her confiding in Felicia, who reminds her daughter that the Cassadines have always thrived on using doubles and doppelgangers to achieve their ends. Felicia warns Maxie not to let James get too close until the truth is known. But James, sharp for his age, overhears part of the conversation. He asks Maxie, "Mom, is Daddy back? Or is he still in heaven?" This heartbreaking moment underscores the urgency of the investigation. At the end of the episode, Dante and Chase discover something startling. The stretcher Nathan had been on carried a military dog tag tucked under the sheet. Inscribed on it were the words, W. Henriksen, Project Phoenix. What is Project Phoenix? Could Nathan have been resurrected in some secret program? Or is this all the work of Victor's old network resurfacing under new leadership? The mystery deepens, leaving fans breathless. Quartermain drama is always front and center when Tracy is involved, and Monday's episode gives Jane Elliott another chance to shine in classic, fiery Tracy mode. The day begins with Brooke Lynn and Lois arguing about how to protect Deception Cosmetics after the recent string of corporate espionage. Ned tries to mediate, but as usual, his words fall flat. Then, the conversation shifts to Monica's memorial service plans, which have been fraught with tension ever since news broke about hidden heirs to the Quartermain fortune. Enter Tracy. She storms into the living room holding a sealed envelope she claims came directly from Monica's attorney. If any of you vultures think you're going to pick over Monica's estate while her body is barely cold, you're sadly mistaken, she snaps. Things escalate when Olivia attempts to play peacemaker, reminding Tracy that Monica always wanted the family united. Tracy retorts sharply, "United? This family couldn't unite if you locked us in a vault with the last will and testament of Edward himself." But the real fireworks come when Martin Gray arrives, claiming to have urgent news regarding Monica's secret heirs. Tracy immediately assumes Martin has been paid off to manipulate the Quartermain estate. In a scene that will have fans rewinding, Tracy physically slams the front door in Martin's face, declaring, "This is my house, my family, and I'll be damned if an ambulance-chasing lawyer waltzes in here and rewrites history." The moment is vintage Tracy, proud, protective, and unafraid to burn bridges if it means maintaining control. Of course, Tracy's door slam doesn't end the matter. Brooklyn later scolds her grandmother for alienating Martin, insisting that refusing to listen could jeopardize their legal standing. But Tracy is unmoved. If Monica had secrets, they'll be buried with her. And that's the way it should stay. This sets up a tantalizing storyline. Are the Quartermaines about to lose control of their empire thanks to Monica's mysterious heirs? And will Tracy's stubbornness cost them everything? Perhaps the most surprising twist in Monday's episode comes in the form of a truce between two women who have long been on opposite sides, Lulu Spencer and Britt Westbourne. The history between them is ugly. Britt manipulated Lulu's surrogacy, lied about parentage, and inserted herself into Dante's life. Lulu never forgave her, and Britt wore the Britch nickname with equal parts shame and pride. But Monday changes the game. Both women find themselves at Charlie's pub after being drawn there by different reasons, Lulu to meet Laura, and Britt to check in on Brad. When Laura is delayed, Lulu and Britt end up seated across from one another in tense silence. What begins as icy glare slowly melts into something more unexpected. Lulu and Britt start talking about Nathan, both women deeply affected by his supposed death and now by the mystery of his return. Lulu admits she can't imagine what Maxie is going through, while Britt shares her guilt about not being there to protect her brother. For the first time, they see each other not as rivals, but as two women bound by complicated ties to the same man. Britt says softly, "We both lost Nathan. Maybe instead of tearing each other apart, we should try to help the people he loved." Lulu, visibly moved, extends an olive branch. "For Nathan, I can agree to that." By the end of their conversation, Lulu and Britt strike a truce. They agree to work together, not just to support Maxie, but also to dig into whether the man on the stretcher was truly Nathan or an imposter. This alliance could shake the very foundations of Port Charles, uniting two women whose loyalty and cunning could make them a force to be reckoned with. While not directly involved, Sonny Corinthos overhears Dex and Brick discussing the stretcher incident. He wonders aloud if this Nathan mystery could be tied to old WSB programs, or even Brennan's schemes. Sonny's instinct is rarely wrong. This storyline may soon overlap with the mob drama. Brooklyn is stuck between Chase, who is bound by duty to the investigation, and Tracy, who is determined to shut out outside interference. Monday shows her struggling to reconcile her love life with her family's dysfunction, setting up more heartbreak down the line. Maxie spends much of the episode agonizing over whether to tell James about the man on the stretcher. The possibility of Nathan's return dangles in front of her like a cruel mirage. Could she handle losing him all over again if it turns out to be false? By the end of the September 22 episode, fans are left with burning questions. Who planted the dog tag marked Project Phoenix? Will Tracy's refusal to open the door to Martin blow up in the Quartermaines' faces? Can Lulu and Britt really maintain their truce, or will old wounds resurface? And most importantly, is Nathan alive, or is this just the beginning of another dangerous Cassadine deception? One thing is clear. Monday's General Hospital isn't just another episode. It's the start of a new era of mystery, alliances, and explosive drama that will carry through fall sweeps.